What's going on, brothers? Got a video for y'all, something a little bit different, but something that needs to be talked about. We have a lot of our women, a lot of our black women that are single mothers, and this is something that needs to get fixed. No fathers in the home, and it's very sad. A lot of our women claim to be independent, even though they depend on either the government or somebody to help them raise their child. So don't believe these women that claim to be independent. But I'm gonna go with this little ABC special with this woman who's making $7. She's living off of $7.50, and she's only 22 years old, brothers. We gotta. This is something that really needs to get fixed. This is definitely something that needs to get fixed. But let me go ahead with the video, and I'll chime in here and there.
My name is Sophia Cotton. I'm 22. I have a 1-year-old son. I'm a single mom. I make $7.50 an hour at McDonald's. Nothing. I make $230 to $240 every 2 weeks. I've been working there for almost a year. I haven't had a
Brothers, you saw that? 6,000 for the whole year. 6,000. I'm not trying to brag, but I make about 6,000 in 1 month, and she makes 6,000 in for the whole year. That's not good. And then you have the other question that I always want to ask all the time. Where's the father? You know you have a son out here. You have a child out here, and you don't even care? This single mother epidemic is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
raise since I started working there. They have a slow week, you going home every day. I came into work one morning, I had to be there at 7. And once the general manager came in, she came in like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and she was like, "Oh, okay, well, Sophia, you can clock out." And I'm like, "Well, I just got here." She's like, "Oh, well, we don't need you, labor's high. You can go ahead and clock out." It's not really matter to them if we making our hours and getting paid. I got 261 in food stamps the last month. Then they deducted it to 216.
Brothers, do you know that we're one of the only countries in the world that depend on government assistance? We're supposed to be one of the richest countries in the world, but yet you have mothers or just people in general depending on the government for assistance. Brothers, we got to get this together. This is why it's very important to protect your seed.
To go through the whole month for 216 is feeding my son, me, every day, like feeding breakfast, lunch, dinner. So I'll buy like frozen foods that I can keep in the refrigerator, on the freezer. I don't buy fresh fruits and stuff like that because it's not guaranteed that it'll be eaten all. Make it stretch. Come on. With child care, I get CCIS, which is like covers your child care or any daycare that you would like your child to go to. I do pay a copayment for $10 a week.
What's going on, man? Again, brothers, this is this is exactly what I've been talking about when we do piss poor planning on when we have children. This is very important. So she's struggling with food, and nowadays you don't know what they're putting in these foods. You're struggling with food, you're struggling with income, and you're struggling for daycare. So the woman is going to do what she has to do for survival. That's the nature of the woman too. They're going to do what they have to do for survival. So you brothers is out here just making babies and then leaving it for the woman to take care of that child, you're a piece of shit. I'm gonna just call it like it is, brothers. If you one of them brothers out here just making children and then you leaving the responsibility for the woman, you are a piece of shit. Too many of our brothers are doing piss poor planning. So I'm not going to blame the woman. And I know there's some women out there that are batshit crazy. But you brothers y'all are supposed to be the head. In order for the woman to get in line, the man has to get in line first. And if that doesn't happen, then you're gonna have a bunch of hyenas run around here. Let's continue.
His dad's actually incarcerated, so it's like just me. Come on, Safi. I want my son to not have to struggle the way I struggle.
I hope y'all heard that. The father's incarcerated. So she chose that. A lot of our women too be choosing these bums. Terrible. Let's continue.
Going have a good paying job. He's not going to have to pick through anything. He's like, I'm going to do anything he want to do, he'll be able to do. Give me a cup. I'm going to make it easier for him so he won't have to see a struggle at all, because I'll rather struggle for him than him struggle for me. Like,
Let me tell you something, brother. That struggling word, that shit pisses me off. You don't have to struggle if you plan properly. So all that, oh, you got to struggle to get better or whatever. I don't know. I don't even remember what the phrase is. But that struggling shit don't make you a better person. If you do proper planning, you won't have to struggle.
I just want him to know I'll make it easier for him. Yeah. My number one always is to make sure that my rent is paid, so I make sure that we have somewhere to live. Me and my sister split it. We paid $220 a piece. $1,030 pays $125 of it for us.
And the housing market is going up. The housing market is going up. I just found out 3 days ago that in New York City I think the rent went up at least by 40%. I think New York City, matter of fact, I think is the most expensive city in America. Los Angeles used to be number one. Now New York City is number one. But I could be wrong. So it's crazy. It is crazy. And somebody in the comments asked me, she's way past that. So what would be your advice for her now? You know what? The only advice I could get her is she's already doing it. She got government assistance. She might want to get with her family because the guy that got her pregnant is incarcerated. So she might want to go ahead and get with her family and go to school.
One of my checks was $238, and it was like the week that rent was due. So it was like I paid the rent. I had no other choice. But then I found myself borrowing and borrowing. So when my next check come, That's my check that I use like to get diapers, my son some clothes. Like that's the check that I use to get those things. So it's like I find myself breaking into that because I have to pay everybody back.
Y'all saw all that food in her fridge? I bet you all that food is probably just packaged stuff that, you know, oh man, brothers, we got to do better out here. I'm not really here to blame the woman because again, the woman is going to do what she has to do for survival. That's just the nature of the woman. She is going to do what she has to do for survival, especially when she has a child. So I can't blame her. But you brothers up here nutting up in these females, yeah, it's your fault. You're supposed to be the first line of defense. Well, we are, because I'm black too. We're supposed to be the first line of defense.
I only go to the doctor like if I need to go or I have no other choice to go, I'll go. I needed a root canal for one of my back teeth, and it was like, well, you know, if you get a root canal, it's, I think they told me it was like around $300 something, but they needed like a down payment. Like I couldn't, either I had to pay the whole thing or put down like half down payment. So I'm just like, okay, well, how much would it be like to pull a tooth or whatever? And they like, oh, well, it's free to pull a tooth, but we rather not pull a tooth because it's savable. And then I'm like, well, I'd rather you pull it because it's like I can't pay for it, but it's bothering me and I don't want the pain. So I'd rather you just pull a tooth. It's not really what you want to do, but it's what you have to settle for because you can't.
Brothers, I just want to brothers, in America, you are considered a debt slave. They give you a social security number and you are considered a debt slave. You are working until you're about 70 and people are still working after that. So we got to do better, brothers. We got to do better.
You can't afford to get the right dental care. If I wasn't getting like rent, assistance, food stamps, or childcare help, I think I would still be like living in a shelter or something because I wouldn't be able to pay rent and take care of my son and, you know, make sure he clothed and fed off of the checks that I received from McDonald's. Come on, eat. It bothers me that I have to rely on government help, and I know that they making billions and billions of dollars. Like, it's like, why should I have to rely on them when I'm working for you? I should be able to rely on you to pay me for doing the things that you want me to do for you.
No, ma'am, that's not how it works at all. That is not how it works. See, again, piss poor planning. You got pregnant by a guy that is incarcerated. And a lot of our women, they know who they dealing with. They'll deal with the drug dealers. They'll deal with these crazy niggas and then want to blame the man. But again, that's on you. You cannot expect somebody to take care of you. That's like you asking Michael Jordan, well I bought your shoes, so you should be paying my bills. No, that it doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that at all. We got to get out of that mindset. So for you black men, you got to do better planning.
And I believe that sooner or later it'll change. And I won't be struggling and I won't have to, you know, pick from eating and buying my son something. Like I'll be able to do both.
Well, that's pretty much it, brothers. I'm not here to blame the woman. The woman is a lot of our women. They make mistakes like this, but at the same time, they're going to be on survival mode once they have a child. The Most High gives them the maternal DNA, so they could care about something else besides themselves. So, brothers, protect your seed. And thank you, Mug, and let me know that this is in Philadelphia because I ain't know that. I thought it was in New York. How you know it was in Philadelphia?